Hey everybody, TV Ben here. We are back again. It's January. Forgot to mention a few things last week with Troy while he was here, that this is the podcast simulcast version is here on YouTube, and then you can actually catch things on Google Podcasts, what else? Spotify, Apple, anywhere you can find a podcast, we're there. And it's actually surprising. Some are actually starting to pick up and do well. Nice. Typically the guests that we have here today, they don't do well. No, I'm kidding. Craig's back.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
No. Actually,
my kids tell me how I mess up all the time.
No, you were actually one of the higher rated ones way back when you first joined us, like episode 6 or whatever that was.
I've just gotten too far into it now, and I'm losing my shine.
No, you're good. It was a joke. It was. Craig's here. Hurry up, pinball, pinball streaming extraordinaire, all kinds of things. So, happy New Year to you, sir. Thanks
you
for
as well.
coming over.
Hopefully
I haven't seen you in a while.
Year. Hopefully it'll be a better year.
Well, I mean, we had a decent year. You know, we
I got to play a lot of pinball.
Got to play a lot of pinball. You bought new games. I bought new games here and there. I mean, it in the whole scheme of things, it wasn't that bad. There were it could have been worse.
Could you imagine this year with everything that went on and not owning pinball machines?
Yeah,
I thought about
I got
that.
I just got my PlayStation 5.
Okay, take away your PlayStation 5 and your pinball machines.
And my Xbox and my TV and my computer and...
No, I just thought about that. Like,
I'll just be Amish.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, having the pinball machines during this was nice.
Yeah, it was a good year.
I would have missed that a lot.
And you worked on a lot of things. You did a lot of repair how-to videos and a lot of lighting kits. You were making one yesterday, weren't you?
I made 2 yesterday.
Two. Holy crap, slow down, man.
I made a set of streaming ones.
Wow.
Another one.
But yeah, so Craig has returned, thankfully, and has a lot. There's a lot going on with you personally, pinball-y. And,
pinball-y.
You know, and the other thing that we really wanted to cover, we'll get to in a minute. We'll leave that.
Oh, yeah.
So, what's new with you?
Let's see.
You got rid of something.
Yeah, I did.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
It's one of my least faves.
Yeah. So I sold Wizard of Oz.
Yay.
I did sell Wizard of Oz. I just got into a routine with it. People ask me, like, why'd you sell it?
Yeah.
And really, it just came down to I was streaming it. It was in the rotation. And out of all the games I was streaming, it was the one where I think
it was the most boring.
I did the same things over.
That was my complaint.
Beautiful game.
It's linear.
Great integration.
Yeah.
But it was like Emerald City Multiball. Get that going. Start a Fireball Frenzy mode.
It's chopping wood.
Yeah. Dorothy. What's the other one? I always forget.
Melt the Witch, Burn the Witch, something.
There's the Witch, Emerald. Oh, Munchkin. Start a Munchkin mode. And if you can do all those things, then you get to go after the Witch.
Right.
And it's like every game got there. I killed the Witch once.
I remember that one. I saw that one.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a great pinball moment. But after that, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm just chasing after the Witch in every game. And if I'm lucky, I'll start. I started the Munchkin multi-ball where you play all the Munchkin modes. I started that. I did Honest Forest multi-ball twice, I think. And after that, it was just like, I've seen everything pretty much in this game, but somewhere over the rainbow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, to get to that, it's insane. And I just felt like there was no other way to play that game at all.
Well, I like that you're talented enough that you can get to those higher modes and then say, all right, these aren't obtainable for like humans.
Yeah, so
you did that with Iron Maiden. Like you were like, all right, I'm never going to get to Mummy multi-ball. So,
and I knew exactly what it was that would keep me from
it.
And even when I dedicated time to playing that specific mode, the Mummy multi-ball, I couldn't make it happen. I think I only ever got it 2 or 3 times.
See, I'm not that good. And so I don't get to those modes where I'm like, all right, I've done it all. I don't think I've done that on any game.
I'll tell you, I'm gonna go into a little sensitive subject for you. Ready?
Oh crap! What?
Elvira. I've done everything but sell the house, Ben.
Is it over?
And guess what? Still love that game, Ben.
It's fine. It's not like they're not out there. I just
no. There's been some popping up. So I sent them over your way, and
not ready yet.
It's
and things are going pretty good up here, and with Metallica. Oh, you haven't even seen Metallica?
I know. I was just looking at that.
Yeah,
I got to play that.
now.
I've never played the premium.
Okay, yeah. Well, when we finish with all our hard work here, and I get stuff out of the way, actually, you could play it with the stuff set up.
I
Because,
just want to
like
see
we
the
mentioned,
hammer. I've never seen the hammer work on that game.
welcome to the Carpathians. Thank you, Dracula. It's the hammer is cool. You know, and my wife is not that big into pinball. And when I got this thing and I got it set up and had it up here, thank you to Troy. We dragged this thing up here. Usually, I take the games apart to get upstairs.
Yeah,
we muscled this one up here. We didn't want to take it apart. We did it, but I got her up here and I was like, "Hey, let's just play it once." And she got the hammer, and she was like, "I was like, you've got to see this. This is really cool." And she's like, you know, she wasn't mad or anything, but she was just like, the hammer hit and dropped, and her jaw dropped open. And she's like, that was really cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, there we go. But yeah, she hasn't played it since.
One of the things with your games too, you have some great games, and I would love to do swap games. But every time I think about like, could I convince him? I'm like, the stairs. It's the stairs. I'm like, I'm not even going to bother asking. Because
what would you swap right now for Tron? What would be your one?
I'd love to put some time on Tron.
Yeah.
Sorry, I probably shouldn't talk with my head. So
no, it's fine. It's fine.
Tron. I'd love to spend some time on Tron.
Yeah.
I love. I do like Dracula. My buddy in Tennessee has one, and he's got a pretty good collection. It's pretty easy to get out. So I'm like,
yeah.
So probably an Iron Man. Iron Man. I haven't really spent time on it, but people say it's a nasty game and it's mean.
Yeah,
and I
always compare that to the Dracula. Yeah. It's like the Stern Dracula, not the old Stern Dracula. It's Stern.
Yeah,
it's the same difficulty in brutality and all that. Because I always like the fast, brutal type games. We've said that before. Nothing new.
And these both require removing the head, right? Usually when you move them.
No, well, yeah, I probably would on those, but like the newer ones, like Jurassic Park, Black Knight, I could get away with not, because it's the Spike 2 is real easy. Yeah. You've taken them apart. It's 5-7 wires to disconnect, get the playfield out. And it's just getting some of the weight off of it, and those are a lot lighter than the Trons and the Iron Mans, even though those aren't bad. Whitewater, No Fear, though, Dracula, those are very heavy.
I pretty much, when I sold Wizard of Oz, I moved that out of my basement, and I had my wife kind of spotting, but it was a day after it rained. And you've seen the hill from my walkout basement up to the road.
So what's worse, your hill or my stairs?
I'd probably say your stairs. But that hill's not bad unless it's rained the day before, because then my hand truck, the wheels start sinking into the ground. And I had that point where I'm like, okay, I'm either got right to the top, to the steepest part. My wife is there. I'm like, look, if this falls, get out of the way.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like, if it falls, just let it go.
Yeah.
And I got to the top, and my quads were on fire. And I'm like... And the hand truck's digging into my wrist. And I had bruises on both my arms from the hand truck. And I'm just like, just don't drop. And we got it up there. I'm like, I was literally dreading it for 2 days. Yeah,
I was doing the same thing with this. This was out in the garage with Metallica. And I was like, Troy texted like, hey, you want to move it today? I was like, no, no, I'm not ready. And then, I was like, all right, you know what? Get it over with. Let's go.
Yeah.
And really, we walked it right up. We actually did okay. But, I was thinking for you, and you're a pretty smart guy that likes to accomplish things.
I need to have somebody come in and just pave a path.
No, even better. Even better. You put 2 posts in, one at the top, one down at the bottom.
I thought about making a winch or something like that.
Put in a real thick wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then winch it down, winch it back up. Yeah.
My wife's been putting up these birdhouses in the tree in the front of the yard. I'm like, hey, I'm just going to screw into that tree too. You're putting stuff, I'm going to put a winch up.
Yeah, winch that thing up there, and then it would just walk it right up.
Yeah.
That would work.
I did. I had that idea. I'm like, if I had a little winch on the front of my truck, I could park it over here and then just do that. But I'm like, that just means I'm buying and selling too many pinball machines, and the wife's probably going to be mad.
Well, all of our pinball things are, first world problems anyway. There's not, it's like, true. Oh no, I have to take my very expensive Metallica game upstairs in my house.
Oh, that light bulb next to the outlane is out again.
Yeah.
Got to go grab another one out of the box.
It's first world problems. I'm going to have to text my mother, and I'm sure she's excited that you're back.
Tell your mother I said hello. And she has a very nice son. and who has a great voice for radio.
God Almighty! You just about got a coffee spit take. How'd you say that with a straight face?
I don't know. I started
very
out as
nice son.
a theater. I started out as a theater major in college, man, and then I got a finance degree. So it just comes out every once in a while.
Well, there you go. All right. So sorry about that.
Perfect.
Yeah, you got me.
This podcast was a success. I almost got you to spit liquid out. during the middle of it.
Almost. It was pretty close. I'm a professional, so
You are.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, when you get ready to do one of these,
Yeah.
do you go into your Metallica closet and go, okay, which Metallica
Which
shirt
one am I
or
wearing
which
today?
shirt? Every one. Have you had one on every episode?
No. We were doing originally. They were just black shirts. We were just trying to go black shirts, and then that was kind of funny, and then. Did a Hooked on Pinball shirt
that's right.
a couple times for Robert.
Did you ever roll out the spooky pinball shirt?
Yeah, I did the spooky,
Nice.
that button up.
Yeah.
I think I did with you for the Spooktacular Craptacular.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think you were here. Gosh.
I went no logo today
Yeah, you didn't do
because I'm mad. I'm mad about what we're going to do.
Yeah,
later.
we're rolling right into that now. But no, I was thinking. Well, today it's actually very cold out. Today is January 10th, right?
I
today the 10th?
don't know what day. It's January?
Yeah, it's January
I don't
10th.
remember. They're all the
Yes,
same.
it's January 10th. It's cold. It's like 30 degrees out. So thought, why not break out the hoodie?
Yep.
Got it.
I love hoodies.
Yeah.
I'll wear them in the middle of summer if it's not like ridiculously
No.
hot outside.
No, I won't.
Shorts
I'm
and a
actually a
hoodie.
little too warm right now, but I'll be all right. But we're going somewhere later, so I figured,
Yes.
all right, so really, to jump into not the only reason you're here, but the major reason of what we wanted to talk about, I'm going to let you introduce it. So we got a big problem.
Yeah.
Streaming.
Yeah, we do.
I haven't been. You've still been doing it, but I kind of laid off.
I just hit episode 50 of streaming last night.
Congrats. Let's throw confetti.
There it is.
Yeah. No,
Okay, that's good enough.
I forgot. I didn't hire a production assistant for this
That's
episode.
the first 2 minutes of every stream that I've ever done.
Just looking around.
We'll just talk. Yeah, I'm like 0 viewers.
Yeah, hey.
Oh, they'll show up eventually.
Yeah.
They're gonna finish their dinners or.
Lance forgot.
Yeah, Lance forgot. I'm like, hey, the most technologically advanced one of us who's supposed to be into tech and all that stuff, being a little younger than us.
Yeah.
And he's like, you got to text me when you stream. I'm like, click the button that says you get alerts.
Yeah.
I get them for everybody. He's like,
Yeah.
no.
Come on, kid.
You text me.
And you did last night, but I was doing something else.
At
I didn't watch.
8:30, exactly when I started.
I saw it at 8:33.
It wasn't Stranger Things. So
Yeah.
you're
It was.
okay. And it wasn't Metallica's, the secondhand version of Metallica. I wasn't streaming that either. So.
Yeah. The.
I thought I had a shot. I
Guardians,
was like,
yeah.
maybe Ben will jump in. So the DMCA stuff.
Yes, and that stands for
The Digital Millennium
Copyright.
I always
Copyright
there's too
Act,
many
yeah.
acronyms. I have so many
Digital
different
Millennium Copyright Act.
Yes.
So yeah, that's the new slap in the face that's coming down from.
I always want to throw Digital Media Copyright Association.
It sounds better, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. So that's between that. I was doing some research on the DMCA today, and there's like all these acronyms. It's like it's not quite as bad as the military, but you start getting in there, you're like the EFF is defending against DMCA, and I'm like,
You're like, wait, what?
what?
Yeah, I need a chart.
So, really, what this stems from, and I can give you a little preview of what happened to me. So, I borrowed Guardians of the Galaxy from a friend of mine.
Good call on
I
borrowing and not buying.
And you know what? Now that I've had
Yeah.
time with it, don't want to buy it.
No.
And I'm glad I had time with it. And I'll tell you about something later with that. It's not bad, but
Okay.
I've pretty much played through the whole thing. I'm going to say a dirty word, 5-ball.
You did
but-
5-ball?
So it was set up when I brought it. It was set up on 5-ball. My wife wanted to play it on 5-ball, but I played it on 3-ball, and I got to just before Save Xander, and I'm like, okay, I've actually played this under 5-ball, and I actually almost double played it under 5-ball.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've seen everything. I'm like, I will get through this game and I'll be done with it. So
Okay.
I was glad I borrowed it and played it.
So did you take it back
but-
on your last trip to?
No,
To Tennessee?
a week.
Oh.
I think probably next weekend it's going to go back.
Oh, so
We're
you
gonna
still
swap
have it?
back. Yeah, I still have
okay,
it. So
okay.
still playing it. It's fun.
Yeah.
But from the streaming standpoint, it is a nightmare.
Oh yeah, that's
It
got
is-
all kinds
it is
of
a-
music and
So it has a little bit of music if you don't
Yeah.
have the Cleveland sound mod. Obviously, you modify it. Cleveland sound mod's in there.
yeah,
It's going to get nailed left and right.
right.
Even without the Cleveland sound mod in there, it gets nailed on music there's 2 songs in there. And some of like Michael Jackson, when the game's over, the Jackson 5 song comes on.
Yeah.
And it's only like 10 seconds. So,
but that's enough.
It's enough. It's enough to hit it. Here's the bigger issue with Guardians is the video content in that is super heavy behind all the animations they do at Stern.
Yeah.
So when I first tried to put that game up, I'm like, okay, they'll ding me for the music. Maybe they'll put up something on YouTube when I put it up there that says that they will, I can't monetize it, and any revenue made from it will go to these, musicians,
right,
or whoever has the rights.
The rights holders.
Yeah. So, and that's happened on Ghostbusters, which is a whole nother thing. We'll talk about that too. But so I went to go put this up, thinking, okay, it can't be anything I monetize, and I want to be very clear. I haven't made any money on YouTube on anything.
Me neither. We'll join the party.
I do it because I like it. It's fun.
That's why we're here.
It creates conversations. It helps build a community, and that's why I'm doing it.
And if nobody can tell, Craig really likes to talk.
I do.
And so does
Dracula.
Gary Oldman.
So I went to go put it up, and it got hit, and it got hit for the music.
Yeah.
Which is one of the songs that they won't let you put it up, which was my first experience. Usually you just can't monetize it. Disney claimed rights to 2 hours and 57 minutes of my 3-hour stream. 2 hours and 57
minutes. So what
minutes.
3 minutes did you get when you explained the rules?
The rules. It was a rules introduction, so I did the rules. And
that's pretty good.
That was it. But the minute I switched to that game, Disney was all over. The bots were all over that, which was a whole nother level than what I'd been used to.
Right.
And so I couldn't put it up on YouTube. So that I got into this endeavor of, I'm going to get Pinball Browser.
Yeah.
And I don't want to deal with this because I want people to see this game. It's a fun game. It's not Metallica. Go ahead and say that.
Yeah.
It's close.
It's close.
But I went through and I got Pinball Browser. And if anybody doesn't know, Pinball Browser allows you to get into the software, see all the video clips, all the audio clips, and you can actually replace stuff, which is what Cleveland and some of these other folks have been doing,
you have
like
to
with
do
Jurassic Park.
Like similar length, right? Like if it was a 3-minute song, you got to find something close, or it's going to cut it off.
So here's what I did.
Yeah.
I was like, let me experiment. Let me try this. So I went in. I took the Hurry Up Pinball logo, the video that I had. I made like a little video clip that was the same length, and I inserted it there instead of the video clips.
Oh.
To test that out.
Yeah.
And then for like the music, I just deleted the music off of the SD card.
Yeah.
So it's quiet instead of the music coming on there. And it does change gameplay.
Yeah.
But I'm like, look, okay, now there's no copyrighted video. Now I don't have to worry about music.
Yeah.
And I can put this up. So I started doing that. And you have to be very specific about the videos and the length. Otherwise, it starts creating little issues with the code. So I messed around with that. And the takeaway from that is there's a massive amount of work to pull that stuff out of there.
That's
and
a lot of
I
work.
just got to the point where I'm like, I guess I'm just not going to stream this game because there's no way to deal with this.
Yeah.
And it was discouraging, because you look at it, and especially something like my Ghostbusters, it plays that Ghostbusters song when the game is over, and it plays it for 15 seconds.
Right.
And I put up a 3-hour stream on Ghostbusters Pinball, and Ray Parker Jr. is getting any money from that I would ever get at any point in the future for that 15 seconds of music. Like, that's the whole reason this is something people want to watch, is because of that 15 seconds of Ghostbusters song. So you get, the further you get into this, it changes. But it's, to me, that was discouraging. And I'm like, okay, this is just something we'll have to deal with. Which brings us to the Easter egg at Christmas, I should say. That we got.
So that's like full circle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go from Easter. Yeah. Okay. Please.
That we got right before Christmas.
Yeah, that was couple 2-3 days, right?
Yeah. So basically, what it was is, and I brought a lovely copy of this.
You did, by the way. Actually, let me. Craig has brought a very nice printout of. Well, I'll let you say what it is, but this guy gets stuff done.
This is the Stern Pinball End User License Agreement, and there has
EULA.
Been a lot of discussion around this amongst streamers, in the forums, and all these different areas about this and what's going on with it.
Yeah.
And this, to me, I understand. You have this kind of stuff with video games. You know, the big thing with video games is they look the other way because they realize this is a great platform
it's advertising.
to market, and it's free.
And you're in marketing.
So
you know this stuff.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is great stuff for them. You know, a perfect example. I bought a Batman 66 after watching Izzy Pinball play it on stream multiple times.
And that's what a lot of people are doing.
I wrote it off when I first saw it.
Yeah.
And then I saw that. And I'm like, man, this looks really fun. I need to give this another shot.
That's what a lot of people are doing. They're thinking, hey, do I want a $7,000 game?
One.
Yeah. Or let me see if I'm even interested by watching a stream.
And I convinced two people that were hit me up on YouTube comments that are like, hey, I've been watching your streams of this. I really like it. And I went ahead and put a pre-order down. I'm like, that's $16,000 just from watching a stream.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for anything for that.
Right.
I'm just doing it because I like it and it's growing the hobby.
Love of the game.
Yeah. And this really comes down to the
I just thought of something. Never mind. Keep going. I'm sorry. I'll tell you later.
The people licensing these games, that's what it comes down to. And the protection of the intellectual properties. And this end user license agreement references part of that, but it takes it a step further.
And this is on, you can get this off their website if you were wanting to, actually, I might, no promises, I might put it right,
link to it so people can see it.
Right down here. We'll see. But yeah, it's very, very lawyer speaky on, like this.
You got your anytime I see definitions, I'm like, all right, this is a legal concept.
Yeah, this is very legal. But, even like you were saying with video games, like Nintendo was a little bit weird on stuff, and then they lightened up, and they were like, hey, you know what? This is, people were doing speed runs and stuff like that. It's like, this is good for us. This is not bad.
No offense, but I don't watch a Stern reveal or a trailer for the game and go, oh, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
You know what I do? I watch somebody play it, and I figure out if it's something I'm interested or not.
Yeah, because you get a little more deep divey into it, and you might get somebody that's not... I mean, yes, we've watched plenty of Jack Danger stuff, but let's watch somebody that's a little more not as good of a player as him, because you're like, oh, this game's easy.
Jack Danger, he does his thing. He does a great job with it, but he's also an ambassador for Stern, and he's not going to say anything negative.
Correct.
And I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah, he's going to say everything right.
Yeah. So I can weigh it in. Those aren't deal breakers for me.
But that's not what they want. They want somebody, they want a sycophant of, this game's great.
Oh, and we're going to get into a little
heavy
of
metal.
That.
Heavy metal. Yeah. No. I watched him play one ball on that and quit.
I haven't watched any. I haven't watched him stream it yet.
Oh my god!
I looked at it.
Bad.
I'm like, no, this is a boutique pin for somebody who has a room full of rock memorabilia who wants to be like, I have a heavy metal pinball machine.
Yeah.
It's not somebody who's like, I love pinball and this is the best pinball game ever made.
Yeah, I watched one ball.
Yeah.
Please proceed, sir. So do you want to talk about page 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
So basically it starts out, this limited software license agreement applies to the use of Stern Pinball Machine software pre-installed on a Stern Pinball Machine and any authorized updates made available to you.
Authorized. Yes.
So right off the bat, this says to me, okay, this was not in place before the holidays. I have not downloaded any game code.
Neither have I.
Since that date.
Yeah.
Because I don't agree with what's in here. So regardless about whether or not this is really enforceable, the minute you start downloading software and put it on your game, you are accepting this the way it is. And I have issues with it. Yeah. And I'm a principles guy, man. To me, this I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that's in here. So we don't need to get into the definitions and all that.
Right. This reminds me of the did you watch the South Park episode with are we going to talking about the iPad? Are we talking about the human centipede episode where you have to agree to the Apple terms and conditions? Why won't it read? Like, don't click, don't download the software, or you've agreed to all of this already.
And now you're part of the human centipede. I was like, oh my god, I know exactly what they're going.
We're going to make the human pinnipede.
Yeah, seriously. How are we going to do that? Just like one power cord that goes machine to machine.
Yeah, we're going to loop power because that would be the cleanest way to do that. But so here is the we've got too much light going on. But this is very, very wordy.
So this says,
and some of it is bold.
Yeah,
too.
bold. So
Yeah.
you know that
Page
they're
2's got a
serious.
bold print.
Yeah, I'm looking at page 2 right now. It
All right.
says you will not, as a condition to Stern Pinball software license, you agree that you will not copy, reproduce, alter, replace, distribute, reverse engineer, decompile, disassemble, display, perform, create derivative works based on or otherwise modify the Stern Pinball hardware or Stern Pinball software or any authorized update in whole or in part, and will not commercially exploit any of the foregoing.
Yeah, that is...
What am I allowed to do with it at this point?
Play
I'm just
it.
allowed to turn it on and flip the buttons,
Play
right?
it, yeah. I put unauthorized, flipper mechs in there,
Yeah.
or,
Yeah, and guess what? I'm voiding my warranty. You've told
Right.
me, and you know what? I'm okay with that.
yeah.
If you want me to consider it more seriously, offer to your warranty on your pinball machine, and
Right.
then I'll think about it more.
Yeah, they're gonna. Well, by
2
the time
months? What is it? 2 months? 3 months? Tops.
3 months tops. But now let's give them some credit. We're not on a total slam Stern
No.
thing here, but they have been cool, even with me on some stuff that was way past warranty, or I was the second owner,
Right.
and they helped me with some stuff. Nothing super
Yeah.
duper expensive,
This
but
this is specifically about the DMCA
yeah,
stuff.
right. But this. The joke I saw, it was on Pinside, I think, the other day, and they're like, what are we going to get to the point where, like, you put unauthorized balls in the machine,
Yeah.
machine will now shut off. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
So you start going through this, and I listened to that super awesome pinball show, pinball podcast where they interview Gary Stern.
Are they better than us? Yeah, because they actually get Gary Stern.
Pretty
I've
good.
got you and Troy.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they actually get the owner of the company. I'm like,
So he was on there and he was talking about these mod makers, and he was
Yeah.
talking about how it's creating issues. It's making it harder for them to get licenses, intellectual properties, and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
I kind of understand that.
yeah, he's got to run a business.
Yeah, and
in the end, that's what
let's
he's
be
doing.
honest, the gauntlet in the back of Avengers
Yeah,
looks like a glove that my daughter wore when she was throwing snowballs the other day. It's just sitting in the back.
yeah, it's
and
very
like this.
basic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody wants to make a mod of that. I get it. When you start using stuff that is like, it's the Infinity Gauntlet. If somebody makes a glove and puts jewels on it, where do you draw the line? And is
Well,
Disney?
sounds like
here's the line.
you are putting it on there.
Number 2, you will not use or install any unauthorized.
See, I think,
Dracula
it's
wants to get
Dracula
in on
again. I think he got blown out by the
Did you put any
noise
mods in there,
pass.
Ben?
On Dracula.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, then he's
But-
fine. He doesn't have a dog in this fight.
Right. Shut up.
So it says you will not use or install any unauthorized content or unauthorized software.
Bingo.
Bingo. That one's a big one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that do that. If you're not commercially marketing that, you want to do that, and they're telling you can't.
Yeah.
Really? You've paid for this machine. I look at stuff like that, especially when you get into the mods.
Yeah.
Let's see. That may result in the Stern Pinball machine ceasing to work permanently or losing access to the Stern Pinball's online program network. We need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Either immediately or after a later installed authorized update. So this, I think, part of this is in preparation for what they want to do with online connectivity and gaming.
Right.
And I told you this before we started this podcast. The minute I'm required to have an account
Yes.
and keep my pinball machine connected in order to play it, I'm done.
Yeah. I agree with
done.
you. I would be too.
That's my biggest complaint, even now with like Xbox, and
Yeah.
we've all kind of accepted it. I spent 15 minutes.
Yeah, because like getting JTAG Xboxes and stuff, they're banned.
I wanted to play a game. I put the disc in.
Yeah.
And I just want to play the game. And it's like, you need to update your Xbox.
Yeah.
You need to agree to these terms. There's an update for this game.
Yeah.
And it's like 15 minutes later. And then it's
15 if you're lucky.
Yeah.
You've got to almost plan ahead. Like when
Yeah.
I buy a game for
Oh.
Xbox, I'm like, all right, I want to play this tonight. So I get home, set it up, start installing it, and go. And then by the time I'm finally ready, and even that PlayStation 5,
Yeah.
when I got it out of the box, this thing's what, a month old now? I had to go through a bunch of updates.
Oh,
I had
yeah.
to sign in through everything, agree to all this stuff. It was an hour
Yeah.
to get to that
I
point.
just want to.
Yeah, I just want to
call
play.
me old
I
school.
miss the old. Yeah, Nintendo.
I want to slide in a cartridge.
Boom.
I want to hit the power button.
Yeah.
And in 30 seconds, I want to be playing.
Yeah. Now, I mean, the nice
it.
part is if there is a game-breaking bug in any of this stuff, they can fix it
Right.
easily. If Mario Brothers had a major bug on the Nintendo 64,
They drag the whole code team outside and beat them with the stick.
yeah,
and
because
they get
that's
new
it.
people.
Yeah,
And
that's
be like,
it.
hey, Mario 2 is going to be way better.
And it wasn't. I do like the Japanese Mario 2, but
Yeah.
Mario 2, the US version, which is Doki Doki Panic from
Yeah.
Japan, It's all right.
I'm a Super Mario World guy. I like Super Mario World.
Mario World's a great game. Yoshi was supposed to be in Mario 3. Did you know that? They were going to put him in Mario 3, and then they did not.
Oh,
they waited. Yeah.
The systems had to get a little better.
Miyamoto wanted to wait on that, so Miyamoto's a genius. Yes, but please.
Yeah,
sorry,
so
way
the
off base.
online stuff, I understand that if you start having people with modified software who are now connecting their game, it's going to cause all sorts of issues.
It could.
Yeah, it could. But that, to me, is the big concern, because I don't really like...
I mean, if we were linking up for tournaments and somebody had modded something, I get that. But
that's one thing. But to me, the writing is on the wall, and this is what scares me about pinball: is the microtransactions.
Yeah,
I mean, they've started doing not microtransactions, but you buy an $800 topper, you're unlocking a mode.
Yeah,
and the only way you can get it is to buy this. I'm not a topper guy.
Yeah.
So
and
to me,
neither
it's
am I.
right off the table.
Yeah, I wasn't until the Black Knight. Yeah, and if you keep hearing little behind you, that servos. Is the servos running on the head for Black Knight. But the only thing that unlocked, I think I said that before, it's just some call-outs. Yeah. Now, Jurassic Park, which is right behind you, has a whole stupid game mode that comes out if you buy the topper.
You don't want to shell out for the topper?
I couldn't find one. Well, I even said it's stupid, but I said if I found one, I'd probably buy it. No, I couldn't find one. There was, and Jurassic Park was $600 for that topper?
Yeah, $600 or $650, I think.
Yeah, because I got Black Knight for like $490. Oh,
there he is.
There he is. And that actually, noise reduction does not kick him out. You hear him.
Yeah.
I heard him last week.
But with that's what worries me about this. I mean, I understand there's definitely benefits to going online with this stuff and, competition, that kind of thing.
Right.
But at the same time, let's go right back. Okay, you're going to have competitions. Guess what? How are you going to stream that?
Yeah.
Because we're going to get into that. Okay, cool. Online competition with this. You can log in. You can play against your friends. You're just going to create a digital scoreboard with nothing to watch.
Right.
Cool. That's great for the two people that are doing it. Nobody else. You want to grow the audience. You need to let people watch it. So to me, that's a concern. I think a lot of this has to do with online connectivity when it comes to the software, because people modify the software. It creates problems for them if they start selling modes or they start selling packages to enhance your pinball machine.
Right.
I'm like, we are not playing Fortnite. We didn't get these things for free, and we're not buying a skin. We're paying $6,000, $8,000, sometimes $10,000 for these games.
Right. Yeah.
And I just don't want to get to the point where I'm like, I got to drop another $80 to put new software into this game.
Yeah.
And I saw it happen with video games. I have friends that work in that industry that are game designers, and they all say the same thing, man.
Yeah.
It is. Those microtransactions are huge, and it's money. And that's what I don't want. It's
so much easier for I want 99 cents to get, another character or something. And you're not thinking, and that adds up.
And then instead of potentially throwing the assets into the game and having them come out with the best code they can, we're like, okay, here's a code that's good. Here's a code that's amazing that we put a whole separate team on. Yeah. And I get it. It's time and it's money. But look, when you're talking $6,000 to $10,000 for a game, they don't have to put out any updates. No. There's been look at Ghostbusters, how long that was. And he put it out, and I think he did a lot of that work on his own because he wanted to do it.
You got like Lyman. Lyman will work at home, off the clock, not getting paid to fix a lot of games.
And I love his games because it's awesome. It scares me to think that these games that are awesome, like Elvira, what am I going to do if Lyman goes back into the code on that, and they put something new, like Stranger Things right now, there's a new mode. Yeah. I haven't downloaded it yet. The Demogorgon bombs, I haven't, I don't even know what it is, because I've got to agree to this. And that's where I'm, like, this is a big lump of coal for me right around Christmas.
You cleaned that up from what you said earlier.
I did. I cleaned it up a lot. You will not share any Stern Pinball software with any other person. I'm paraphrasing here. I don't want to read the whole thing. Right.
Well, I was going to say, make your point here, and then we'll... wrap
How are we
up
on time?
Oh, we're 35 minutes.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
I talk too much.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying, let's find a good slowdown point, and then we'll pick up for part 2.
So let's get through real quick the end ones, and then I have a whole bunch of things we can discuss, and that's really what I do. I want to discuss this. This is not I'm taking a stance. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
Yeah,
let's talk about this. People need to. look at this and talk about it, especially if you're into pinball, especially if you're into streaming, modifying code for whatever reason, even in your own home to never share with the world. Like, these are discussion points, and it's just things to kick around. This is what I've been kicking around. But to finish going through this, basically it's saying you won't put any unauthorized code in there. You won't get in and modify any of this code, which gets into a whole nother thing about if you're modifying code and you're not breaking copyright laws, the DMCA stuff doesn't hold any water.
Right.
If you're doing it and distributing it and selling it and infringing on copyright there, then yes, you are. But I looked at it. There's been a small handful of people who've actually been prosecuted for DMCA violations.
And what is that
small.
Usually? Is that a fine? Is that jail time? What does that usually involve?
There's some fines involved in it.
Yeah.
They can do it's like it can be $500,000 and like 5 years in jail or something. It's something along those lines.
Yeah. You cover mine if I get popped.
But the reality of it is, there's been very few cases where they've actually taken it that far.
Yeah.
And we'll get into whether we think this is just posturing. They're doing this to get the property rights holders off their back to say, hey, we're trying to do something about this.
We made an attempt.
If you want to go chase after these people, go for it. But so that could be what's going on. Here you go. There's 3 more real quick. In view of the rights held by third-party owners, this one I have a problem with. You will not stream your gameplay of your Stern pinball machine without Stern Pinball's prior consent.
Yeah.
That was the big dump that I found in my Christmas stocking.
Yeah. How they don't even tell you, like, where would you reach out? Like, reach out to Jody or somebody.
No, they don't tell you that.
Yeah.
And
where are you going to get authorization?
Okay. And I'm starting, my wheels spin. This is the way it works with me. I try to look at things way down the road.
Yeah.
The fact that they're all saying that you got to get permission.
Yeah.
And they have somebody who's an ambassador.
That person.
Who's just moved into a much bigger studio. Who do you think's going to be streaming the games for Stern?
Yeah.
It's entertaining stream. I like watching it. I get it.
Yeah,
but
nothing wrong there.
There's control of content there.
Well, here's my question on that is he going to continue to stream for the other people, or is he only going to be Stern?
But here's the other thing too, because and we'll talk about this when we get into the next one, but the Led Zeppelin stuff, they couldn't get
they were getting shut down
Led
during
Zeppelin got nailed on their own Facebook page for the video promoting the pinball machine that they licensed. So it's a messy system. It's out of control. But that one, there's a lot of people that are really upset about that. I'm upset about that.
Yeah.
The system for how you get approval. What are the qualifications for this? Is that just saying that
they put nothing in
they
there
can
to
just be like, no. Jack Danger is streaming on Friday. No. He's streaming on Tuesday. Is he? I heard he's an ambassador. Is he an actual employee of Stern?
I've heard rumor that he is. He's on the payroll.
With this,
yeah.
If they have rights to it and they can market it, then if he's on the payroll for them.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. Yes, he is extremely popular and nothing bad against the guy. But is he making enough money on Twitch and YouTube to do what he's doing? He
has 27,000 subscribers.
No, he is not making enough money to do what he's doing. There's people on YouTube I watch that are millions of followers, and that's where they quit their job. He's nowhere near that level of. Yeah,
and I know he does a lot. He does some other stuff.
Definitely on a payroll.
But it feels like it's an attempt. You have this growing streamer market.
Yeah.
There's a lot of streamers out there that are picking up steam. There's some awesome ones.
Thank you.
MSP.
Oh, were you talking about me?
Yes.
Oh,
and
okay.
TV Ben videos. But they're doing great things. Yeah. And that's a bit of a threat to me too. So I think it's been a little quiet on that, on the DMCA front from that person in particular. And great, you're doing great. You moved into a new studio. There should be new pinball machines, a lot more room. That's awesome. Right. It's going to help grow it.
Right.
What about the rest of us?
Exactly. All right. Well, that, let's take this moment to.
That was a good closing, wasn't it?
That was.
What about the rest of us?
What about the rest of us? That's why I was like, hey, that's it. That's the closing point right there.
Up on it. And then I ruined it by talking over it.
No, it's great. All right. So everybody, thank you, Craig, for coming over today. And yeah, this is something we really want to continue this discussion, and we will, but not in this episode. We will continue it into
the next one
next week. And just like with the power of everything, we're going to do it here in like 5 minutes, but you won't see it until next week. But hey, thanks everybody again. This is the TV Bin podcast. This is the simulcast if you're watching it on YouTube. You can catch us anywhere. You can catch Craig over at Hurry Up Pinball as long as he's still allowed to stream. And he's still, even if you don't stream, you've done some how-to videos and some repair stuff, and it's a really good thing. So make sure to check out Hurry Up Pinball on YouTube, Twitch, where else am I forgetting?
Facebook,
Instagram,
Twitter. I'm on there too.
Everything. Anywhere there's media, as long as he is allowed and as long as we're allowed. That's another thing. Like I was thinking last week, I was editing all this stuff with Troy's episode, and I thought, where do we draw the line? Like, do I get in trouble for having Spider-Man behind me?
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. Like,
you have a Metallica t-shirt on.
Yeah. Where am I going to get in trouble for showing a Spider-Man with Metallica, with Dracula, with...
It's not digital.
There's a lot of people owning this stuff. But anyway, stop. We'll save that for next week.
All right.
So thanks everybody, and we will see you again next week.